Hello everyone, my name is Shira and welcome back to another adventure here in Minecraft. Last episode, I built the resin farm back in the Pale Garden. And from that, I got a lot of these resins here, which I've now stored here in my base. There's still more loads back in the farm, which I'm gonna need loads of when I start building the Nether Hub. Speaking of the Nether Hub, I'm take another break from it. And the reason is because that I'm still not finished designing my Nether Hub. I'm slowly working on it though, so that once I'm finished with it, I can now start building it here in my world. In the meantime, we'll be doing some other project. So my plan for today is actually to do another building project. And that building project will be on a place that I've worked on before. So let's head over there so that I can show you where I'm gonna be doing it. And here we are, back at this place. If you remember this place, this is where my honey farm and also my slime farm is located. Which has been actually very useful for me since I've been using loads of slime and honey for my redstone contraptions. But as you can see, it's not looking too good right now. Most of what you are seeing here are just purely functional with no decorations yet. And I want to fix that. So the project for today is to build the exterior of my honey and slime farm. And my plan for that is gonna be big. I plan on having a very large build here that will combine these two into one big building. And since it's gonna be a big building, it's also gonna need loads of materials. So before I can get started on doing that, I need to gather loads of materials. So it's time for me to do just that. After many hours, I finally got all of the materials, and all of them are right behind me here in these shulker boxes. So with this, I am now ready to start building the exterior for the honey and slime farm. So now the next thing to do is to do the tedious task of bringing all of this to the construction site. So I'm just gonna do that and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back here on our honey and slime farm. And I'm over by this hill here because I put all of the materials I'm gonna be using for the building here on this place, just so that it won't get in the way. And that is because I'm gonna be using this entire area here to build, as it's gonna be a very big build. With that said, it's time to get started on working on the build itself. First things first though, I'm gonna be moving the storage system that I have here into a different location. This has always been temporary, so now it's time to move it. So let me just work on that for a bit. Okay, I've now successfully moved the storage system. So if we go up here, the storage is now over there. And also over on this side here. So first let's check on this one. This is gonna be the storage system for the slime blocks and honey blocks. So this one here is for the honey block, and this one is the slime blocks. As you've probably noticed, I'm not gonna be storing the items in shulker boxes. I don't really have a need to use this farm much, so I won't be needing a lot of them, so I don't need the shulker boxes. Just storing them in block form is actually enough for me. Then over here we have the storage for the honeycomb and honeycomb blocks. Since the modules that I have here on the right side is mostly for all of the honeycombs, I made their own storage here. But besides the storage, I also added something down here. If you can see the switch, I can actually change the honeycomb to be automatically turned into honeycomb blocks if I do this. So if I turn on that switch, it will redirect the water stream here into that hopper over there. And if we go into Freecam, down here is an auto crafting system that crafts them into the block form. So in case I need them, I can just turn on the switch here. So this and this one is gonna be the permanent location for the storage system in this farm. The only thing left is to do the decorations, of course. And speaking of the decorations, that's what I'm gonna be doing next. Usually, when I do the design of a farm, I usually do the exterior first. But this time, maybe I should try doing the interior, just so that I can try building from inside out. And I want to do this section first, the one for the bees. Once I do the interior for this, it's gonna look something like this, with the power of editing. Though this is kind of awkward because you can't really see anything from this angle. But if you go inside here, this is what the farm looks like now. All of the beehives are still in the same location, and I just decorated around it. And what I changed here is that the bees are now free, at least in this space inside here. They're now free to fly around inside here with all of the different kinds of flowers in the room. And here I just did some minor decorations around it, just to make it feel like inside a building. And if you go down here, we have a hallway, and there are two paths here. So if we go down here, this is the backside of the farm. This is where all of the redstone bits are, so that I can easily access them if I ever get the need to fix something here. Then if we go over on this side, there's a way down here where we have this room here. So this is where I have this thing here, where I can refill the bottles in the farm. So currently this is not lit up since the backup chest up there is not full, which I'm probably gonna do later. And on the other side here is for the shears, which is currently lit up. Then there is a stair here where we can go inside into the bees, just so that we can see them up close. There's also just chests here, which currently doesn't have anything, but this is where all of the items that are not filtered into the honeys and honeycombs are stored. So for example, we have a bunch of hoppers here where all of the honey goes. So if we put something like a torch, or maybe an ender chest, or rocket, go down here and look at the chests. Let's just wait for a few seconds, and there. All of the items that I put will be put in this chest over here. And if I ever need to get more bees, I can just get some of these beehives here, and they will also be put in the chest down there. And on the other side here is completely mirrored on the one on the other side, which leads to another area here, which I will be working on later. Then as for the exterior, it's currently just one giant ugly box. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this last time. I put some beacon towers here and also over on the other side to get some of those beacon powers. And these two here will be enough to cover the entirety of this build. Okay, next let's work on this storage here and do the interior for this. So time to work on the storage. And after we're done working with it, it's gonna look something like this, with the entire section here completely decorated. So here are the chests, and now we can easily identify which one are for the honey blocks and the slime blocks. And on each side we have this one here. So my idea for this is that this is kind of like the place here in this build where they keep all of the honey. This is the pipe where the honey comes from, or at least that's what it looks like. Then all of them are stored down here. And the same thing on the other side, except this one is for the slime. And as you can see from the block pallets I used, it's basically the same thing that I've been using for my other builds. With all of those deep slates, the gray concrete and white concrete, and then the cyan terracotta. I just really like using those blocks. Oh, and also the end rods. And that is the design for the storage room. But of course, we also have another storage area here for the honeycomb and honeycomb blocks. And now it is time to work on this one here. And now you might be thinking that I'm just going to turn around again and then the build will be complete. I'm not gonna do that, of course, because the build is already done. So here it is, the interior for the storage of the honeycombs. I have this here, which is just a bunch of shelves with the beehives and honeycombs. And then here is the storage. So here is the honeycomb, so you can see here so that you can easily identify it. Then this is the one for the blocks. Then this is the switch, which I have also decorated. Then there's just this thing here. I don't even know what this is, but it's just a piece of decoration. So yeah, there's nothing much to decorate here since it's a pretty small area. But at least now there is something more to look at in this area here. So that pretty much covers all of the interior with a function in this form. This one for the bees. Then this is the storage for the slime and honey blocks. Then that one for the honeycombs and honeycomb blocks. The only thing left that I haven't touched yet is the slime farms here. But I don't actually have any plans on adding some interiors here since, well, I don't really think I can add anything more here. I'm just gonna decorate the outside of this and that will be good enough, I guess. But that being said, I'm still not done with the interior. So like I said before, this build will cover up this entire area here, up until where the slime farms are. But before I get started on the build itself, I want to do some terraforming here, just so that I can get started on the actual building. Let's start terraforming this area. Okay, all done with the terraforming. And I've also, as you can notice here, added a bunch of the foundations where I'm gonna be building the exterior. Oh yeah, I also brought Casper with me, just so that I can see the area here more clearly in the air. Oh, I'm sorry. So here's what it is looking like. So over here is gonna be where the entrance of the build is. Then over here is gonna be the main structure of the build. If we fly over on the other side, very slowly, you can also see here all of the foundation that I've placed using stone. So from this, I think you can now imagine how big the build is gonna be like once it's finished. And now that the foundation is done, it's actually time to build the rest of the building. And from here on out, I'm gonna do the rest of the build in one big giant time lapse. And by the end of that, everything here is gonna be complete. So then, time to finish up our honey and slime farm. So let's get building. After many days and many weeks, it's finally done. Hey, would you look at that? There's an emerald behind me. Let me just get this real quick. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I'm now done with the building. And here it is. The entire exterior of my slime and honey farm is finally complete. And there's a lot of things that I've added here since the last time before the time lapse has started. So I guess it's time to give you a little tour. So first off, we have this roadway here, which I've done in all of my builds. So currently it just ends right over there, which will eventually connect to my other builds. Same as for this railway over here. And as we walk through here, this is gonna be the main entrance of our building. So first we have this thing over here, which is a monument that signifies what this building is. So I have some honey and slime blocks here. Then over here, we can see the name of this structure, which is what I am now calling the sticky station. Because this is the place where we get all of our sticky needs. So welcome to the sticky station. Then we have a gas pad over here, so we have a place to park Casper. Then here's the main entryway of this place, so it's just a pretty open area with a fountain over here. Then I also have this cherry tree here, which is also a custom made tree that I made. Then over here we have some stables for the horses. And we actually have a horse here, which is actually a wild horse that's just roaming around here. And so I decided to tame it and put him here. I still don't have a name for him though, so I'm gonna have to think about that. Then yeah, here's what the exterior of the place is looking like from the front entrance. We can also see the railway station over there for the sticky station. Now if we go inside here, first here we have our main lobby area. Here we have this guy over here, and he is the one who owns this entire structure. Though I don't have a name for him yet, but he is the owner of the sticky station. Then over here is more of the lobby area. So in the center here we have the beacon tower. Then over here we have, which I've shown earlier, the slime and honey farm storage. Then on the other side here we have the storage for the honeycombs. I also have this little section here, which there's actually bees inside there, but it's currently nighttime, so they're not coming out. But during the day, they're just flying around here collecting honey from the flowers around. So just some added decorations. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I wanted to add something here. Hold on a sec. There we go. We now have a map of the sticky station here. So now we can see the entire structure of the sticky station. So here's the main building, and this is the main entrance. Then over here is the part where the slime farm is, which I'm gonna show you a little bit later. Also, you might have been hearing it. There's something going on up there. So if we go up these stairs and follow this path here, then inside here we have a bunch of these slimes here. So I have here all of the 3 versions of the slimes. Here's the smallest one, then the middle one, and then the largest one. So I just kind of wanted to have a room where we have the slimes here to study them closely. They're pretty cute up close, but the sounds tend to get very annoying. We also have this one, which is kind of like a conference room. So this is where all of the employees of the sticky station are discussing their work. And by employees, I mean the single villager that I have down there. Then here we have just this simple hallway here, and if you go at the end here, it just leads us outside. And this path here will lead all the way to the back of the building. And we're gonna be going there later, but first let me show you the other part of this main structure, which is gonna be over here. And this hallway here leads to the railway station. So this is one part of the railway station. And then if we go down here, we have another lobby area. And then the other end of the railway station is over here, which of course leads to nothing. But maybe this one here will eventually connect to one of my other farms, which you can already see over there. Then if we follow this path down here, on our left side, there's someone dying, piglin, and it looks like our anti-piglin machine is working perfectly. I don't think I've shown this yet, but all of my nether portals actually have this. How this works is just I have a turtle egg behind here, so that all of the piglins that spawns in the nether portal automatically goes here and then gets killed by the wither rose down there. That prevents all of the piglins from wandering around in all of my builds. So anyway, here we have a piston door, and if we open this will just lead us to the place for the bees. Now let's exit from the other end here, which we have another small section here, and this will now lead us to the backside of our building, which I also have a beacon tower here. Now before I show you my slime farms, I want to show you the exterior that I built here. If we go up here, here is the exterior, which inside is where all of the bees are. And if we go at the side here, we have a bunch of these decorations here, which should look like exhaust fans if you look close enough. But there's actually something special with these fans. So if we go up here in this stairway, I have an entrance here that goes at the top of this building, which is just an attic with a bunch of chests, barrels, and other storage stuff. But there's also a lever here, and if we turn this on, you can now faintly hear something going on outside. You can now probably hear it because it's quite noisy. So if we go down here, we can now check that the fans are actually completely functional and are actually working and moving. And if you've been watching other Minecraft videos, you might have noticed that this is what other people call as buildstone. And this is the first time I've built one of these, which is actually pretty cool, but really noisy. So let's just turn it off. And then finally, we have the slime farms. So we have this one here and that one over there. The two here are actually very identical with one another, so I'm just gonna be showing you one of them. So this is what it is looking like from the outside. I kind of want it to look like a silo of some sorts. A futuristic kind of silo. I don't really know what a silo looks like or how they work, so I probably have no idea what I'm talking about. And this place also actually have an interior. So inside, this is what it looks like. I don't really know how to describe any of this. I just started building something and this is what came out. Then if we go down here, this is actually where all the actual slime farm is. So I put some tinted glass here so that we can see what's going on inside. Though technically, even if I have these windows here, you won't be able to see the slime farm working if you're actually standing here, because none of the slimes will spawn if I am too close. And since I have 3 layers of the slime farm, this just goes on and all of them look similar to one another until at the last layer of the slime farm. And on each module that I have here, there's a lever, which if I turn it on, it will actually open an entrance here so that I can go inside and do some maintenance if I ever need any. And that's pretty much the entirety of the sticky station. Oh yeah, I also have this thing here. There was a floating piece of land over there, and I just added a few ticks to it to make it look more like a chunk of land instead of just a flat one. And the reason why this land is floating is because the slimes are making it float. Don't ask any more questions. I also added a bunch of details surrounding the slime farms. So over here, we can see a bunch of slime deposits down here. And so as an explanation on how I'm getting all of the slimes, there's a bunch of slime deposits in this area here. So the people built the slime extractors here in order to get all of the slimes. So yeah, that is the sticky station, aka my honey and slime farm. I actually underestimated how long I was going to be able to build this thing. I thought it will just take me at least a week. But in reality, it almost took me almost a month. Because I was actually busy doing other stuff besides playing Minecraft. But at least now, I'm actually finished it. And I'm actually really proud of this build. In hindsight, I should have just probably split this into 2 episodes. But oh well, what's done is done. But anyway, that is pretty much it for me this episode. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.